And we're on. And welcome to Jujitsu Junkies family. Brain and body fit. Mental and physical health go together. Okay, here's the first technique. 3-part combination. Okay. I'm surviving from the guard. It might be a deep overhook. I stay in my green zone, meaning a safe zone here. I suck him tight, close guard. Right, I'm surviving so he can't raise up and hit me with power until I could better my situation. The first bettering of situation is at some point I'll seize wrist control. I'll sit up, do a crunch, go over, under, thread the needle, grab my own wrist. You see that? That's called a kimura. Double wrist lock. Kimura. The minute I lock this in like a pit bull, the mechanics here, I crush my body, pull this in with my 2-on-1 grip. Crush my body, pull this in, I lay back down, and I hip out on this side. Okay? Hip out sufficiently, wrap him so he doesn't flip out of there and get on top of me. I'm going to touch his palm to the back of his head. Say tap, shorty loud when you feel it. Tap. Tap. Touch his palm of his back of his head, ripping out his shoulder joint. Tap. If he doesn't escape or tap in time. Next is same thing. First we survive, then we win. Okay, I wrap him tight. Okay, go back a little bit, shorty. So they can see up here. First we survive. Here, tight. It may be an overhook and head control so he can't headbutt me. Pull it to the side, tweak his spine out so he can't hit. See that? Make him uncomfortable. Tweak his body out, his spine. Okay, so he can't hit me effectively. At some point, this is the guillotine choke. At some point, I'll sit up again, wrap his head, his neck, wrap it. Take all the slack out. I wrap it. Before I lay back down, I'm going to grab my own right wrist. Before I lay back down, I took all the slack out, wrapped his head, grabbed my own right wrist. Okay, my blade needs to line up with his windpipe. Line your blade up, my forearm blade with his windpipe. Take all the slack out. Lean over this way to really take all the slack out. Lay him back down and wrap him up with my close guard and cut off his windpipe. I stretch him out, cutting off his windpipe. One more time. Don't make the mistake. Don't make the mistake of slipping your armpit off his head because he'll slip out and he's gonna bang me. Okay? He's gonna hit me. Drive your shoulder forward. Drive your shoulder forward. That way your armpit stays to the base of his neck and there's no head slippage. He wants to slip his head out so he can hit me. Okay, so one more time. First we survive. Raise up. Take all the slack out, wrap up his neck. Windpipe lined up with my forearm blade. Grab my wrist, lay back down, and cut his head out. Okay? Guillotine choke. Last but not least is the hip heist or the hip bump reversal. It's a reversal where I get on top. I end up on top. Again, in my guard, I'm surviving. Okay? This guy's trying to hit me. I'm surviving, keeping him tight. Because there's no, I have to either have him tight so he can't hit me with power. Okay, I'm surviving. Look at this, is good survival here. See that? I'll take away his striking. Okay? Or here. Tight. I need him tight. Or if I'm having a bad day and he's just too good for me, well, you better get your feet in the fight and get him away from you. And better your situation there. So the hip bump is, at some point, here's a setup for the hip heist or the hip bump. I go for the kimura, wrist lock, wrist control, over, under, thread the needle, lock on my own wrist. See that? It's called a kimura. I'm going to lay down for the kimura, but the way he defends is he steps up forward, grabs onto his thigh deeply, and then lays it back down and hides it deeply. And he hides it, and he starts banging my ribs. He starts hitting my ribs on the other side to make me let go. If they start hitting harder, I'm going to let go and go to something else. Okay. But what I have here at this very second, I have a reversal called the hip bump or the hip heist. Okay, I still have this arm. I can't pull his arm out to break his shoulder. Instead, I'm going to tripod up on all three. I'm going to explode up on my hand and my two legs and yank him. I'm going to impact him in his armpit on this side with my hips and yank him with the arm reversing him. It's called the hip heist. Bang, 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 bang. One more time. The hip heist. It goes with the Kimura shoulder lock like a hand and glove. They go together if you connect the dots well. I go for the Kimura, sit up, but he defends. Boom. It hides it deeply, so I can't pull it out. Careful, because strong guys can pull it back out, and break your shoulder. And he starts hitting me in my ribs to make me let go. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, but I have the hip heist style. I still have the arm. I'm going to let go with this one, but keep this one. Post up, impacting him hard, getting up in the air, airborne, and then yank him with the arm. Whoosh! Bang! Bang, bang. And there you are. Technique of the day.